What's up, fam? For the second time, this is the day the Lord hath made, and we're here to rejoice and be glad in it. And we're going to smile and give God praise because in everything we're going to give thanks because this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning us. Got a final reason to smile. Paul said, when I want to do good, evil is always prevalent and present. You know that? And when you want to do the right thing, evil always comes. And when you got some good content, you know what happens then? That doggone internet start going crazy. But through it all, God is still good. He's blessing us right now, and I'm so excited to be here with us. We're here for our Single in the City, and I hope you're blessed. And guys, we got some great, incredible guests going to be sharing with us. My brother, who is entertainer, entrepreneur, he's a Christian gentleman, he's a comedian, he's a writer, and one of our collaborators with my business, my production business. He's one of our collaborators, and we've been so blessed to produce some great content together. Got some great things coming, in the future, and I'm excited about it. He's here with us, Alton Walker. What's up, Alton?
What's going on? I'm trying to tell you, they trying to stop us. I got my hoop trigger for them now. I'm telling you, we gonna. Oh Lord, I'm gonna get them. Don't let that
Hey,
the
hey, man,
connection messing
you
up.
you you ready to do this thing? I see you getting that hair on your face. I see it's growing out, bro.
Pastor, it's tough over here. I'm looking
I
like a
understand.
criminal. I'm looking like Marvin Gaye. Uh, when he was singing the later Marvin Gaye. This is bad. I need some. I don't know how you got your hair cut.
Hey, man. Hey, man. I'm doing the best I can with what I got, bro. We'll talk about it later. I'm so happy to have this other young lady who's part of our church family. She is an educator. She's done so much in the area of helping our youth, our children. She is an incredible tutor. She's a mother, and she's got a bubbly personality and a magnetic spirit. You meet her one time, you can never, ever, ever, ever forget her. And she's worked in so many capacities. She works in finance. She works in banking. She is brilliant with mathematics and just does an incredible job in terms of in corporate America. And I just thank God for who she is, and thank God I've known her now for almost 16 years. And that's Sister Amber Jones. What's up, Amber?
Hello.
How you doing,
Good
ma'am?
to be here.
Hey,
Look,
man,
if the internet would let us be great, we'll be fine. I did my hair and everything, so I'm ready to talk to the people, Pastor.
I see you did your hair. Like you put some color in it too, didn't you?
Yes, God, it has to be decent and in order. That's in the book somewhere, Doc. Come on now.
I got you. Well, go on with your bad self. Look like you up to something. But I like how I look. And then last but
Thank
not
you.
least, we have a native. Uh, she's just traveled the country. She's a military brat and grew up in Macon, Georgia, and graduated from Oglethorpe University. And she's now resides in Tampa, Florida. She's worked in the medical field. She's worked for Verizon. She is a playwright. She is a thinker. She epitomizes the word creative, and we're so happy to have her with us, Alexandra Herring. What's up, Alexandra?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good. Good to see you.
Yes, nice seeing you too. And I
I
graduated from
see.
Armstrong University.
I see you got your hair done too.
I did. It's the only time I've had to put on a piece of makeup, a piece of hair, so I look a lot better than I have the past 3 weeks.
See, we ain't got that privilege, Pastor. We ain't got
I
that privilege.
got you.
Women can put on. I mean, I know this they help, but women can put on a lace front. I can't put a lace front beard on.
Yes, you can. They make them.
Actually, yes, you can. You will look a lot more. Yeah.
I mean, no, we don't need to do that, do we, Alex? You know,
No, I ain't putting no lace front beard on.
Alton, we've been talking a lot recently, and one of the things that I noticed, we've been talking a whole lot about this whole piece of trying to find harmony in relationships, and particularly, Andre and I, we serve as matchmakers a lot, and we like hooking people up. And one of the things I noticed about you from one of our first times meeting, is you got this bad red flag uh, mentality. And I think it's hindered you for some relationships. You shared it with our older singles. I want you to share it with this group because I want to see what their consistency is on this whole red flag understanding that you operate in.
Yes, the red flag. It's that thing that comes up in conversation that make you go, should I? And I will cut somebody off after the first date if I get a red flag that I feel if
Understanding that
it's
you
something that I can't deal with in the long run. I'm not the type to say, well, maybe they'll change or maybe, no. If I hear something, like for example, if a lady says she don't want to have kids, that's a red flag for me. There's no point in going on a second date. You don't want kids. Religion. If you doing something else religion wise, if you and I just can't do it. And the last one that I got a real big, like they attacked me, y'all, is finances. I don't want a woman that's poor with finances. So these are some of the things that it won't change. And I'm 35, and everybody was like, well, you can grow, and well, we grow. What is there to grow? There ain't no more growing going on. So if I get a red flag on the first date and it's something I measure and I can't live with, no, there's no point in me calling you for a second date.
So Amber, Alexandra, I want to hear what your thoughts are because I thought, it's been a long time since I was single, so that's one thing. I've been married 25 years, so
No, rub it
it's a different
in.
kind of perspective. So I know I'm kind of
Right.
aged here, but I always thought though that you could look at people that you could consider potential. That as you're developing, a person doesn't have to have it all together. That you can find somebody and they can grow with you and you can grow with them and you can become together. And I understand standards. I get that. There's a certain standard and a certain essentials versus non-essentials. But what are your thoughts on Alton's statement in terms of if they don't want to have kids, if they have a different faith perspective, but they don't have finances, that's a red flag, no second date. Is he being excessive? Is he not being fair? Should he try to give them another opportunity? What are your thoughts, ladies?
I think the first two are pretty fair because everybody, especially like when it comes to your career, everybody is in a different walk of life, especially when it comes to finances. The first two are definitely fair. If you know you want a family and this person does not, then yeah, that is a cutoff. Like you're not going to change somebody's mind just because you step into the picture. As far as what was the second one? What was the other one? The kids and the religion.
Faith.
Religion.
The faith. Yeah, I've dated outside of my religion before. It did not work out. Somebody tried to convert me to be a Muslim. And I've dated an atheist, and it just did not work out. So those conversations, they end up being a little bit more argumentative than actual having intelligent conversation. So I agree with the first two.
Amber?
What about the third?
Well, the third one, I feel like if a woman was to say that I don't want a man who don't have great finances, then she sounds like a gold digger because women get attacked for saying, oh, we want a man with finances altogether. We get attacked for saying that. A man can say that, but when a woman says that, it sounds like, oh, we're just looking for a man for his money. Or we're not looking at his potential because someone could be building something. You could be broke as I don't know what, but you could be majoring in something like IT or going to med school. You're going to be broke, but you're not going to be making money till, years later. Somebody could be in corporate world. They're up for a promotion. Their finances could change like that. But because you dismiss this person because of their financial situation, then you probably done missed out on your blessing because she coming up and ends up making more money than you.
Ooh.
Amber?
Well, my degree is in finance, and so with my degree being in finance, I am a black and white person. I have very few gray areas. So I have to agree with my guy and say you really know off top things that are non-negotiables for you. Like you said, if you want to have a family and she tells you, nah, I ain't gonna be able to do it, you be blessed. You go for it and enjoy your day. And I'm not gonna waste my time. My time is precious, and I don't want to waste your time or mine. And sometimes it's better to just not necessarily be friends, but you can have a new associate, if you will. It doesn't have to end because a relationship cannot flourish. But I do agree with you. There are some things where there are definite red flags where it's not going to work, and we don't have to waste any more time, and we can just end this before it even begins.
Let me ask this question, Alton, because I think you raised a good point, Alton, from this perspective. It seems like sometimes, if I want to make sure I'm saying this correctly, do you think that it's easier for a woman to say she wants a man who's stable than it is for a man to say, I don't want a woman who's unstable? Do you think those things are equal? Do you think the man gets the worst rap in that regard?
Well, I feel like it's celebrated for women to say that. It's celebrated. Get you a man that can take care of you, girl. I mean, this the whole fantasy story. It's always been, the prince will come get his princess, and this princess is just raggedy, and she got on the rags. Every Tyler Perry movie. Shout out to Tyler Perry. I ain't knocking Tyler Perry. I don't know if you watching. Call me. But I'm saying it's a lot of the man has to come and save this woman, and it's ingrained in America's mind. That's what we tell our daughters. Make sure he got money, he can take care of you, he can take care of your family, and this and that. And what I found out, if a man says it, it's like, well, you can grow with her, you can teach her, you can help her out. Well, shoot. Well, I don't get it. And to what you said about him being in school and all that, it depends on the age. Now, if he's in his 20, 21, 22, 23, 25, that age, and he in school, okay, I get it. He got potential. But once you start getting to the 30s, 35, hey, come on now. You going back to school to be a freshman at college, I ain't knocking it.
Yes, you are. You're
just come back when you graduate.
Well,
when
let's
you graduate and got a job, come back to me.
Let's talk about that, Alexandra and Amber. Let's talk about that. Were you different as ladies? Was your perspective in your 20s different than your perspective of dating now in your 30s? And if so, how?
Absolutely. Well, me in my 20s, I think I had higher standards. I'm not saying I've lowered them, but I've kind of, at the age of 31, you kind of got to let some stuff go. It's like, when I was in my early 20s, I wish you would try to come talk to me and you said you had kids. I wasn't talking to anybody with children. I don't care if you had 1, 2, I'm not looking at you. Just keep moving. Because I always had a mindset, I don't want to be 3rd, 4th on your list. I need to be number 1. If I'm not number 1 and I'm hearing you talk about your children all the time, well, I don't want to have a conversation with you because I don't feel like I'm that important. Now at 31, you'll get away with 1 child. 2, I'm still not accepting to it. I'll do 1, but if it is 1, that 1 child, they have to be able to take care of themselves. Like, if we pursue something later, I'm not changing any diapers. I'm not feeding your child. I'm not teaching it to read or write. They already need to be, like already able to take care of themselves. They need lunch. They need to be able to fix it. I don't want to raise no one else's. God has not called me to raise nobody else's children, but my own. So that's one of the things that's changed is like the children part.
Amber?
Yo, this is blessing me on a huge level. I do agree that my standards, whatever you want to call it, definitely have changed. I am 33. I had my son when I was 20. And so, to be honest with you, in my 20s, I was really so focused on being a mother that dating really wasn't even a concern. I was like, if I find someone, amazing, but I want to make sure that his foundation is set. So my views, my ideologies, everything definitely changed. And now for me, I do agree. I've been superwoman for so long that I do want to find someone that can take care of myself and take care of my son. And it's more important now with, so many things going on. Now we have the coronavirus. Life is short. And so I want to have an opportunity to really spend that time with someone that not only can take care of me, but can also add to me. And those were two main things I was not looking for at 20 that are most importantly have to have now in my 30s.
Alton, let me ask you this
There's
question.
low in standards. I said there's low in standards. She said, Lord, he ain't gotta have 32 teeth. He can have, as long as he got one, and he can bite that when I cook for him. If he got
No,
one
I
tooth,
need
Lord, that's all I need.
I need him to have more teeth than the guy in Tiger King. I need him to have a little bit more teeth. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I
Alton,
think
let me
it's
ask you
more of a
this.
list, but it's too long.
Alton, let me ask you this. I want to ask this to all of you, but I'm going to start with you, Alton. Are your red flags because you've been hurt? Are your red flags because you got a wall up? Are your red flags because you're looking for trouble? Do you go on a date to get to know somebody, or do you go on a date because you're looking for drama?
No, no, listen, I honestly go on dates to have fun. Like a date with me is amazing. And I don't believe in interrogating people on dates. I just believe in just let the conversation lead with, because if a woman start asking me a bunch of questions, she going down this list, I'm gonna tell her stop. This is I feel like I'm in investigation, like I just committed a crime. But it's just certain things that I'm gonna listen to. And if you say something that I'm like, you know what, I can't live with that for the rest of my life. And that's what I measure it up to. It's like I'm not gonna be able to live with this. So it's not necessarily like I'm looking for things, but if they accidentally say something and I'm just like, okay, can I deal with this for the rest of my life, for 25 years? 25 years? I just can't do it. And I've known people that have heard those red flags, yet they continue to date someone. For instance, a friend of mine, a young lady, dated a dude that said he don't want to get married. He said that at the beginning. 5 years down the line, he still haven't married her. Now, she done made this man to look like he's a bad dude, but he already told you. He ain't necessarily a bad dude. He told you he don't want to be married. And most of the time, when I see people break up with someone, I ask them this one question: did you see that in the beginning? And most of the time, you'll get, I did see it. So why dismiss those red flags if it's something that you can't deal with? Just say, hey, I can't deal with you, and bye. I know they look good. I know you want to be. I know it's been a long time. You want to hurry up and get married, so you go ahead and lay your burdens down. But glory ain't gonna come laying your burdens down with somebody that ain't the right person. Come on, somebody.
Come on, I'm with you, my guy.
Alton,
I had to talk in codes right there, Pastor.
Alton, ask you this question, though, Alton. So is it possible for you to tell somebody, is it possible for you to tell a young lady, you offended me, I don't understand that, I don't like that, to let them know, to give an opportunity to explain what they said that was
Well, here's the
offensive?
thing. It's nothing that they said that's offensive. It's just the way they deal with life. That's what I'm saying. My red flags are the way they deal with life. It's not necessarily if you did something or your past life. It's just, like I said, if you poor with your finances, not necessarily how much you got in your account, but if you're not good with finances, and I hear that doesn't make you a bad person. You're just not the one for me. So it's not. I'm not looking for anything. They don't say anything to offend me. It's just, like I said, how you deal with your walk of life. It's just certain things that just ain't for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You
Alexander,
see,
I'm asking
did
this
that make
question because,
sense?
no, I hear you. Alexander, I'm asking you this because Alton makes me think of this in terms of you. Alton is, has been building his career in entertainment, in film, in writing. As you can tell, he's a comedian. You work in hospitals, you work with Verizon, you in an area, but you're really working on your entertainment career as a writer, as a creative. How do you balance, or how are you balancing being where you are vocationally in a place that really doesn't fulfill you necessarily, while you're still working on where you want to be? How you navigating that space between now? It's like an in between. You know, I'm here because it pays the bills, but I want to be there because I think there are a lot of other singles who might be in that same position. You go to school for one thing, and now you rediscover something else. Got loans. Sometimes you're paying loan for something that you totally shifted from. So how are you navigating the in between time?
I feel like a lot of my stories that I want to write has come from my experiences being down here. So the different experience I'd have like a different story every single day. Like, so what I do in my spare time, because it's like it's really no purpose of me being in the location that I need to be in if I haven't really, been stable to like put in the work for it. So every time I get a concept, I go ahead, I write it down. I try to work on it a little bit. So when it's time for me to go and it's time for me to relocate, now I have something, I have a portfolio so I can take off the ground running. But right now, because I'm so isolated, I feel like a lot of my ideas and my creativity are flourishing. Other than what if I'll be staying in Macon or staying somewhere else, I'm getting a lot of activities because I spend so much time by myself. So I'm actually getting a lot of inspiration just by being down here.
So this is a good creative time for you, good creative space.
Mm-hmm. I feel like
Yeah.
I didn't have all these ideas and I didn't have all these stories until I got down here. And then like experiencing with dating and other people, like I said, I've gotten a lot of great stuff out of that. So
Amber, let me ask you this question: how are you navigating this space as a single woman who, um, you are, open. You're not married yet. You're a mother. You're working. Now you got this time. You got to make sure the son's work is done. How are you navigating this space? Because I think that's a good lesson for another single mother who may be watching, who's got a lot going on. Doing homework, got to work, got to pay the bills. How are you navigating that space?
Um, to be honest, I am blessed to have the support system that I have. My son has actually been with his grandparents the last month. I dropped him off for an extended weekend, thinking that the cab kind of was going to have a teacher work day, and it turned into all of this COVID-19 fun. But as far as navigating being a mother and working and trying to date, anything that you want to do, you find time for it. Whether it's being a mother, whether it's working, whether it's, creative juices, whatever it is, you find time to do it. For me, my son is the most important asset that I have. And I don't make excuses for it. I don't, introduce him later on down the line to someone that I'm considering because he's just that important. For me, I do work in the finance industry. And so I'm able to work 100% remotely from home. And it's a blessing because I'm able to check it with my son and text and FaceTime, making sure he's doing his assignments, communicating with the teachers to make sure that everything is done as well. And so it's a balance. It's a balance. Before this foolishness happened and before, we were on punishment and confined to our houses, I do try to do fun things to include my son in the whole process because it doesn't make any sense for me to start getting to know someone and then learning about me and then learning about my life and then they're not a good mesh with my son. As well as I try to make sure that in dating someone that you make sure that you don't give them or allow them to give you their representative. I think it's very important that you try to do fun things in the beginning, not necessarily a formal date, like, we're sitting down and we're doing dinner, but, do bowling or do the movies or do putt-putt or do something where you can really get to know a person. And then you can ideally find out how you all mesh, where things are going. And those red flags that he was speaking about before will more likely come out more then because someone doesn't feel like they're being interviewed and they can be a bit more honest. So just kind of depends, but trust me, I am going to find a way to have fun, even if it kills me. So we have no issue.
That's great. Alton, let me ask you this question. You have made some transition the past 9, 10 years. You're building your business. Came from doing church comedy, now you're doing comedy clubs and theaters and all over the country. How do you feel in terms of getting into a serious relationship? Do you feel you're ready, or do you feel there's some more things you need to accomplish career-wise before you settle down? Because I want to, people who are still evolving and emerging and going through the process. I want to see what kind of advice would you give in terms of your own journey. Have you been doing these things prior? Were you looking for a relationship the entire time, or are you more serious about looking for one now? At which part of your journey did you start considering a serious relationship?
Like last week, like no, I no, I recently started considering serious relationship. I quit my job when I was 30, and so at the age of 30, these last 5 years, I'm like, I didn't want to bring anybody in to what I'm doing now because I wanted to be selfish. And it's okay if you're single and you're focused and you have a career and you have something you're working towards. It's okay to be selfish. That I feel like it's okay. Get yourself together. I wanted to get my career together, my finances together, so I can prepare myself for a wife, because it takes finances to take care of a wife and a family. So the last 5 years, I wasn't at a place to do that. I wanted to be selfish. I wanted to be able to make decisions without being obligated to explain myself to someone. I don't feel like explaining myself. I don't feel like answering questions of where you going and why you doing that, why you out so late. No, I don't want to do none of that. So the last 5 years, I did choose not to date anyone, not to take anyone serious. I'm considering it now, but I'm not gonna lie. I date somebody and then I don't feel like doing it no more sometimes, Pastor. I be like, you know what? I don't want to send no good morning, beautiful text. You know? So right now I'm at a place where I'm trying to find a woman that is just as busy as me. Because if you're not, you're gonna get on my nerve. If my life is all you got and you ain't got nothing else going on, I can't date you. I tried it, and she was a great girl, but she knew every TV show, and I can't do it. There's nothing wrong with that woman. She can work a regular 9 to 5, do your thing. But I came to the conclusion I need a busy woman, because I need somebody to understand that I'm busy. I got things to do. Stop texting me. Go build something. Nothing wrong with people that just go do their regular job and everything. But I'm attractive to women that are doing something, whether it's starting a business, writing a book, and if it's a 9 to 5, even if get a promotion, do something, like have something going on. Because if you don't, you're gonna be concerned about my time. So I'm dealing with that, Pastor. You may need to help me out, because I get aggravated. And so that's what I'm dealing with now. But I am open. I don't know how to not be aggravated.
Alan, let me ask you one question as we get ready to move and close this session. I want to ask you this question. When did you know it was time to try something different, new scenery? You were working in Savannah and, had job benefits. Something came along. What pushed you to move? Because sometimes people can get settled and get comfortable, and there's more out there. So for the single person who's watching, what were you feeling, when you knew it was time to make a shift in your own life to do and see something different versus to get stuck in one place? Then that's a good word to somebody.
That's the feeling. It was stuck, and I was miserable, and I became a mean person. And then it's just like when you go to a drive-through and you see somebody and they got an attitude and they hand you your bag and throw your ketchup in a car. It's like you need to go find something else to do if you're so unhappy with your life. So I had to have that conversation with myself. So I tell people all the time, if you're single and you have no kids, if you want to get up and move, go ahead. Like, don't overthink it. Yeah, you're going to start over. You're not going to have, family, friends. You may not have that much help, but it's a risk to me worth taking. I just, like you said, I felt stuck. I feel like I wasn't doing what I was called to do. I'm not a people person, so I had to deal with people, and I just did not like it. And I'm like that now. I feel like towards the end of the year, or the beginning of next year, I feel like Tampa, it was a good run, and I think it's time to, start with a new location. But anytime I'm not happy, I'm gonna pick up and I'm gonna move. Like, and that's with any situation, whether it's a friendship, relationship, location, a job, because I've had several jobs. If I feel like a job is not loyal to me, if I feel like you don't care as an employee, if people start getting on my nerves, I hold no loyalty to nobody except my close family and my friends. I don't hold loyalty to a location, a person. If I'm dating somebody in that city, if you're not trying to move further, I'm gone. Like, yeah, I have people hit me up all the time. Hey, I'm visiting Tampa, want to hang out. Okay, have fun. Like, you didn't want to hang out when I was in that city. Don't try to hit me up now. Like, I'm gone. We were trying to do something, you know what I'm saying, when I was there. So don't contact me now. I'm doing well. Just like when I moved from Tampa, it'll be some people from Tampa trying to hit me up. Hey, I'm in this location. Have fun. I just want to be happy. I don't care if it's by myself or with somebody else. I just want to be happy, and I don't want to walk around being a miserable person and being mean to people. And just, I mean, I made it a point to be mean. No, I did not want to be nice to nobody.
Amber, let me ask you this question. Amber, you've had to recently work through your mom's death. You and your mother and your sister were very close, and you guys had to be a caregiver there for her while you were working. I was there with you, and you had to get through that. So it's been not long ago. So you're still coming off the death of your mom, and trying to find a sense of normalcy. So to the singles who may be watching, who've had something devastating like that, the ending of a relationship, whether it be through death or divorce or breakup or relocation, how have you navigated coming through the most probably arguably, well, no, the most difficult thing you've experienced, most painful thing? How have you kind of rebounded and getting back into your groove? I think that's something that's very powerful that needs to be shared.
I think the biggest thing that my mom's passing brought out of me was, again, going back to being superwoman. I kept all of my emotions and feelings to myself. Um, I always wanted to make sure that everybody else around me was okay, and I was the one that was struggling. So I was the one that people, or I am the one that people call when they need someone to talk to, or when they need, prayer or vent or whatever. And I didn't have anybody. And so I began to be bitter because I was so many things to so many people, and I was pouring out and I was empty. And I was like, I can't keep doing this. And so for me, I didn't want to give that bad energy to someone else. Um, I know I could get a pass, if you will, for my mother passing. And they go, oh, no, her mom died. But there's no excuse to be nasty. There's no excuse to be rude. There's no excuse to be, condescending or aloof or distant or whatever it was. And so for me, I push my mom's passing to get out and meet new people and really listen to people. A lot of times people tell you what's going on without even saying anything. You can feel it. And so I learned to lean more on vibes and energy and allow that to help me meet people. And although I'm not in a relationship or seriously dating someone, I have fostered some great relationships that could possibly lead to something else because they met me when I was most vulnerable. They were there. They didn't judge me. My eyebrows weren't done, hair wasn't done, glasses wasn't on, couldn't see nothing. But, they were there. And so I think in those moments where I was the most vulnerable and the most open, it allowed me to really step outside of my comfort zone and really engage with some people that I might not have ever engaged with before she passed. So although I didn't want to lose her physically, losing my mother was probably, ironically, one of the best things that could have happened to me personally. And I didn't think I would ever be able to say that without feeling some kind of being a traitor to my mother and her not being here. But everything is purpose. And like I said, I'm very hopeful for the relationships that I do have. I'm lit out here in these streets, Pastor. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, it's just a journey. You've grown through it. The pain, you see how the pain has impacted you and made you grow up. You know, and I think everybody's story lines up to that regard. Hey guys, you have been amazing today. Alton, Alexandria, Amber, I want to thank you all for sharing. You know, we got 3 A's on the show, and I just pray God's blessings on you and pray that you can continue grinding, find that peace and happiness. Your stories have been helpful, and I'm sure people all over have been impacted by it. So thank you for sharing. I appreciate you and look forward to seeing what God's going to do for your next chapters. And those who've been watching this episode of Singing in the City, hope you guys have been inspired, encouraged, and heard somebody's story that also help your story to push you to a higher trajectory. We got to close this broadcast now, but always remember, if you'll be good to God, God will be good to you. You've been watching Single in the City. Until next time, peace.